So, a lot of you are looking forward to this review because a lot of you have seen how much I am looking forward to this movie that we're about to talk about. I said, how can anyone not fall in love with a bear on cocaine? You are not going to outrun a bear on cocaine. Let me just say that. If you get nothing else from this movie, just know that a bear high on cocaine, you are not going to outrun him, outdrive him, outrace him. He will find you, especially if you have more cocaine on you. So, one of the things that people are asking about this movie still right now is, really? Seriously?
Really? That's the question they ask.
Yeah, really? For real? Bear on cocaine? Where the hell would somebody get that from? I mean, I don't know if Hollywood's getting lazy, if Hollywood is getting really inspired, or if cocaine is just really back. If it's popular again with executives.
Everything from the 80s comes back around again.
It comes back around again. But this came from, and Julian was asking me this. He said, this was based on a real story. Yeah, loosely, very, very loosely based on a real story. Now, I'm looking at, you can find articles about this. There are articles that have been out about this movie, or about this story rather, for a while. You're going to see more today because of this movie. But there were articles years ago talking about this crazy story where a guy threw pounds, I think 7,500 pounds of cocaine off of a plane, and then jumped from the plane. And he was so high that he forgot to unpack his parachute, ended up dying. But the cocaine landed, and a bear found it and had a good old time, partied down. Now, this movie, as far as compared to the real story, this movie is almost like the drunk retelling of that story. Yeah. And whoever's telling this story is not just drunk, but just lying.
Because the crowd's excited when they start.
Yeah.
So then they get excited and they're like, I got to keep it going. This is my moment in the sun.
Yes. They drunk, they getting attention, and they just, man, that bear did 700 pounds of cocaine and killed 30 people. 30 people? Last time you said it was 10. Well, I wasn't talking about the cartel members. No.
It chased down an ambulance and jumped in it.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it can do that. No, man, you weren't there. You didn't know.
You ain't see it. You ain't see what I seen.
Man, but I was lying. Wasn't there for it. And there's always somebody at the end of it all, when everybody done bought somebody say, lying, right? None of that happened. Look, here's a story. There it is right there. Yeah, none of this happened. Listen, I don't have to tell you. No, that bear, or as they call him, Pablo Escobar, right there.
Is that what they called him?
That's what they call him. And by the way, that's not even the bear. They just killed a bear and just put it.
Yeah, what did I say?
They just killed the bear, just put a hat and a chain on him and said, hey, look, it's Cocaine Bear. Look,
they humiliated him in death.
That ain't that bear. What do you mean ain't that bear? I mean, look, he's wearing a hat, man. Come on. What are you talking about?
Cock to the side.
Obviously they killed this bear when he was at a party, doing cocaine. I mean, come on. Look, he's got cocaine on his eyes right now. Look at him. Come on, man. Yeah, no, Pablo Escobar, no, he did not go on a coke-fueled massacre. No, that bear, yes, the bear did do cocaine, but no, that bear was not in a euphoric mood when it happened. Maybe for a little while. Maybe for a few minutes that bear was like that, but they said that bear overdosed about 3 hours later.
Of course he did.
Yeah. And they said it probably wasn't like that.
Yeah, he's probably in extreme pain.
Yeah, had a heart attack and everything.
Yeah.
They say, that bear. I mean, hey, listen, people say, whatever moments of pleasure that bear got from that cocaine, it better have been worth it, because they say by the time he went out, that shit was probably burning. It probably hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, probably because, your heart was racing and going crazy.
Sure.
Yeah, man.
And cocaine's just kind of harsh anyway.
I mean, not for the bear.
Yeah,
bear was on that shit, man. And also, let's get something else obvious out the way while we're talking about this cocaine bear, because I know this is going to be something that we are going to be talking about when the review starts. So to get the obvious out the way, yes, that bear looks fake as hell. Yes, that bear is. There's rarely a scene where that bear looks like a real bear.
No, you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Shit, that bear that bear was so animated. They might as well put a hat on him and a tie called
Yogi Bear.
Had him chasing cocaine baskets out in the woods.
Yeah, I
man.
figured he started singing the bare necessities at
Yeah.
some point.
You might as well put Yogi Bear in that shit, man. There are moments when that bear actually looks like something out of Kangaroo Jack.
I said a hip hop, the hippie to the hip hop, and you don't.
I thought that bear was gonna start rapping and shit. The way the way the bear looked. But hey, listen, that's part of the joke. I think that's it's a comedy, so the bear doesn't look the greatest. But I think it's not taking the movie's not taking itself seriously. So if you're looking for a realistic bear, this is probably a movie that you're not gonna like.
Yeah, I mean, there's times when they do close-ups on the bear, and it's to an extreme to where you like, yeah, they know what they're doing. This is on purpose. They're like, we got a coked up bear. What do you want to have it look like?
Exactly. Come on, get out of here. It's a silly comedy, so that's almost part of the gag that the bear doesn't look that realistic. I mean, and the bear does do Kangaroo Jack type shit. I mean, the bear has personalities. The bear stops. There's moments the bear looks like Baloo. Looking at a butterfly going by and everything. Yeah, it's. So I'm not gonna complain about that. But I will say, as far as the movie goes, this is probably one of the most straightforward movies that I have seen in a while. The trailer said it's a coked up bear, a bear on cocaine killing people, and that is what you got. A coked up bear killing people. I mean, for better or for worse. Very straightforward, no false advertising here, but maybe straightforward to a fault in some cases here. But yeah, I
heard that.
I have a slight difference of opinion on that.
What's that?
Well, it's as much as it's straightforward. For me, everything that's with the bear, the coked up bear killing people, I thought was awesome. It worked. Even the horror stuff had me on it kept jump scares, kept getting me. But it's the part where it deviates and gets into the people where I was like, all right, now this is kind of.
Well, maybe we don't disagree so much, because when I say it's straightforward to a fault, it is so dedicated to its premise. It is so dedicated to the joke of this bear on cocaine that's where its priority is. Everything else kind of falls to the side, because there's not much to the characters.
No, not at all.
There's not much to the characters except to be a joke. Essentially, the movie's trading in cleverness for goofiness. And if that's what their intention is, that's fine. I'll just say that the characters in this, they're so goofy that they are cartoons, man. We're talking about this being Yogi Bear. I mean, it might as well be, because shit, these people are almost more of a caricature than this bear is.
Can I get the camera? Give me the camera. Demented?
Boy, that was some good shit that bear was on. Got that bear banging his head. Hey, listen, I've done a lot of drugs, but I ain't never had something that
did it
good
make
before.
you jealous?
Yeah. No, it didn't make me jealous. I want to party with that bear so hard, man.
It's something wrong with it. Come on.
Nothing to be afraid of, Christopher.
I'm not afraid.
I would have been afraid too, but I was too busy looking at those bears' titties. I was like, damn, that big. I have never seen titties on a bear. Actually, I've never seen titties on a bear.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. I said that coke was so hard, made her nipples hard, man.
I saw how it makes it look like Godzilla right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, that bear was on some good shit. I don't have a problem with the characters being cartoonish, man. I think the problem is that all these characters are assigned one task. They're assigned one task, and that is either to fill time or to give this bear something to do, this fake ass bear something to do, or to be killed by this bear. you summarize these characters very quick. The main characters, Carrie Russell, she plays a mom here, who her whole thing in the movie is to go find her kid Jurassic Park style and run from this bear. What's this guy's name? Alden
Ehrenreich.
Alden Ehrenreich. He's sad about some tragedy in his relationship until he gets laid on by the bear.
Oh man, you fucked.
You know, that pretty much that's his 2 moments in that movie right there. Margot Martindale, character actor, you've seen her before. She gets some laughs at a park ranger. She's acting all horny for this young biologist that's coming through until she starts looking for the bear or getting her ass whooped by the bear. You know, that's the only thing that she does in the movie. Being a park ranger, I thought she was going to start chasing that bear like the ranger in Yogi Bear.
Come here, you. Well, she tried.
She did, yeah. Got her ass to her. Well, I'm going to tell you what happened to her at the end. Isaiah Whitlock, man, who you saw, he's the one talking about, you fucked. You know, in the movie, he's just the guy, he's a cop. He's a cop looking for the lost cocaine until he runs into the bear. Ray Liotta, it's the same thing. I would say the only character that's probably a little different, O'Shea Jackson.
Oh, Ice Cube's son?
Yeah, Ice Cube's O'Shea Jackson Jr. He, like many characters in this movie, is also looking for the lost cocaine. A lot like he's the guy that works for Ray Liotta. So he's also looking for the cocaine out there. The only difference is, and this is funny, he's the only person in the movie he's getting mauled by everything but the bear.
Right.
He's getting his ass torn up by everything but that bear, man. Which actually is pretty funny. But I agree with you. The stuff with that they are delivering on is the bear. And that stuff is pretty funny.
Yeah, I was amazed early on with just the bear moving around, how much it really got me. I was like, God damn it, I was scared. And then when they do the kills with the bear, they're inventive and they're visceral and they really go for it. And every setup with that bear, I was like, oh shit, the bear's a star. But the bear is in it for like a third, and it's 2/3 with these characters. And it's one of these things where it's trying to straddle a line of having goofy comedic characters, but then trying to give them a story. And I'm sure there's a way to do it, but it's not really working here. And I think a big problem is that there's too many characters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the whole thing with the criminals looking for the coke, Ray Liotta and Alden Ehrenreich and those other teenagers. I was like, if this was taken out and we focused on the other people, we could have a better movie.
Yeah, part of me wonders, they do so little with these characters that they have so many of, and I think you're right, because they got a lot of characters in here. Part of me wonders if this should have been a movie where it was just a coked up bear having people trapped in a house. Most of these characters, most of them die, and the deaths are meant to be laughed at. It's almost like an itchy and scratchy cartoon.
Yes.
Because, I mean, they'll be dying in agonizing pain, and it's played up for laughs, man. And so you're not... maybe that's why they kept the characters as goofy as they are, so you wouldn't feel anything for them. But it still would be nice to have a little more depth to them, a little more layers to them. If they're not being killed by the bear, then they're the butt of a joke that's centered around some gore. Or they're there to provide some comedy with a subplot that goes nowhere.
So yeah, some of those subplots go nowhere.
My man Isaiah Whitlock here he's got a subplot with a dog. It don't matter. Yeah. It's just making things longer than it needs to be.
Well, when you talk about things that go nowhere, you got 2 little kids who eat more cocaine than I've ever had in my lifetime. And
he's had a lot.
But they don't do any kind of follow-up on that.
They do a slight follow-up. A slight.
Yeah, you saw what they ingested.
Exactly. Because I thought, man, I mean, I don't want to give any too much away, but these kids have done more cocaine than any adult I've seen. They ain't doing it on purpose, but they mounds of it. I mean, just even getting close to it would give you a crazy contact high. And I thought they were going to do more with that joke.
Yeah,
with these kids being
right.
These kids being coked up and trying to rump in this bear.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I said, man, I said that would have been bold because I would have been controversial. Fox News would have been all over this.
Mm-hmm.
You gave cocaine to children.
But they didn't take that part out. They didn't give it to them. They just don't react.
They're normal.
No, well, I'm saying they would be talking about Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
You Holly weirdos. You don't care. You have no morals. Now, can't you see Tucker Carlson? Now, people, can you believe they're giving cocaine to children and calling it entertainment? I say, yeah.
Yeah, it was funny.
Shit, I'm mad. I'm mad it wasn't more entertaining. These little motherfuckers coked up. I was like, because I remember because I was like Denzel. I was like, if y'all don't do more of this shit, we got a problem. I said, no, the whole thing. Do the whole thing. But they kind of, they kind of punked out on that a little bit. And, so you got the Isaiah Whitlock with the dog. You got the children with the cocaine, but that really doesn't go anywhere. As I told you, got Alden Ehrenreich, who's crying about his wife. That really doesn't go anywhere. You got these gang of teenagers who are robbing people at the park, this national park that they have, and all those things are not really going anywhere. They're just kind of there to like just kickstart these characters enough so that they can be fed to this bear or run from this bear.
Right. And I know plenty of them are supposed to be cannon fodder. You need people to get mauled and eaten. That's how the movie goes. But you can still give them something so that when it happens to them, as an audience member, you kind of care, even if you didn't like them.
A little bit. Yeah, just a little bit, Because all that stuff is fine for a skit, and I think that's what's going on with this movie. This movie, part of it is very entertaining with this bear. Another part of it feels like, all right, it feels like the premise that it is, a premise. Something that might be good for a short or for, like I said, a skit. Now, I will say that as a parody of those killer animal B movies from the 70s and the 80s, those features that they were very prominent at that time.
Oh, absolutely.
This works on a few levels on that.
It really does.
Because that's what they're doing.
Right. And they have it set in the 80s and it's in the same soundtrack and everything.
Yeah, it's 85. So, yeah, it's kind of worse than that level. And the reason why it works so well, because like this movie, those movies, they were just there to focus on, killer bees or an alligator, or in this case, a bear. You can almost argue that this movie right here, this movie is the intentionally funny version of a killer animal movie that came out maybe in the 70s. This is Cocaine Bear is a straight up spoof, a parody of that. He's like, no, we just pitched that tent. No, it took us hours.
I love when somebody just stands there going, no, or
no. Oh, they're looking like Bill Murray in that submarine movie. What was it?
The
Life Aquatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie is grisly. We showed this. We talked about the trailer for Cocaine Bear last time. That damn Ewok paw that came.
Yeah, what was the thing that knocked out Luke Skywalker in Empire Strikes Back?
Wampa.
Yeah, the Wampa.
Yeah, Black Wampa. Yeah. That's a damn Ewok paw. That giant ass teddy bear. Yeah, somebody say stuff that paw. Yeah, paw
I know,
for shit.
it's just a glove.
Yeah. That shit looks so fake. I think I saw them selling that on Shopify, man. Those paws. People, we gotta take a quick moment to give to our sponsors over here, to say thanks to our sponsor who is sponsoring this portion of the show. And that is Spotify. Shopify. Sorry, Shopify. Excuse me. Well, they just took that away. Shopify. Shopify What is Shopify? A lot of you hear me talking about this, still don't know what I'm talking about. Shopify is a commerce platform and is used by millions of businesses worldwide. When I say a commerce platform, it's just something where you can sell your stuff on there if you have anything to sell. I don't know, maybe you have some makeup items, clothes. You do art, you do crafts, all those things. Beauty products, all those things can be sold. And if you're a person who fancies yourself as someone who has something to sell, an entrepreneur, if you will, Shopify can help you with that. Shopify just goes in and simplifies selling stuff online. It simplifies it for you so that you can focus on the business. And they cover every sales channel. They even let you sell across social media like TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. You got to have those today.
Absolutely.
You got to put those in. And Shopify knows that. You know how vital that is to social media is to your business. So they help out with that. And they also have tools to help you out, help you grow. And they have 24/7 support, just in case the tools, they're good tools, but in case you need more, there's a person there to help out. And also, it's a lot of you thinking, man, I don't have any real skills to build a site or something. I know they give me the tools to do this with, but no, look, everything is there for you to lay it out, put it together. No coding skills necessary, anything like that. All you got to do is spend a few minutes, maybe an hour or so, putting everything together, putting up your stuff, and just start selling it. And the reason why I always want to do Shopify and talk about Shopify is because we always have a lot of creative people who make nice stuff, nice things. I'm just reaching for what is nearby. See this right here, Mr. Toasty figurine? That is made by our friend James Hakala, who makes figurines ever since before they were doing things like the 3D printers and whatnot. He was selling figurines and sculptures and whatnot, and there's a lot of people like him, and I think he might be using Shopify to sell his stuff. So if you're a person who makes a lot of great art and there's a demand for it that you think is out there, and we do have a lot of creative people in our community, they've given us a lot of stuff. Shopify might be the thing for you. So listen, you're a talented person or you got some business skills, you're ready to sell your items, I'm ready to help you out, and so is Shopify. So here's what I want you to do. Now, this is all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/toasted and sign up for a $1 a month trial period. That is shopify.com/toasted, all lowercase. Let me spell it out for you. shopify.com/toasted. That's TOASTED. Hey, I know a lot of you out there got business smarts, so go ahead and try this. Just made it a lot easier for you. Hey, if you're a good business person, you'll jump on this deal I'm giving you right here. So get on that. And I want to thank Shopify for coming in and sponsoring this portion of the show. And I want to thank all of you out there for your support. Moving on with the review right here. I think that is, when you have a movie like this movie Grizzly right here and all these other killer animal movies, what I was saying is that those movies are, they're focused on one thing, because that was a big selling point. They would be movies, they just wanted to get people in by showing you, a big ass animal or insects or something, just, killing people. And that's what this movie's like too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that's part of his strength and that's part of his faults too, because again, like these movies, is just probably just too one note, because I think that this could have been more. That's all. I mean, I'm not saying this is bad. I'm not saying it's not fun. It's just I think there was more potential with this movie. It opens up with the news talking about the war on drugs, and I think this could have maybe have addressed that a little bit more, or made some kind of connection with that, or made a message with that somehow, spoofed that in a way with this.
Yeah.
You have a bear on cocaine. That bear could have been. That could have been an allegory. I think the thing with me that could have been more, like I said, they could have pushed this whole, I think it could have spoofed the war on drugs. I think it could have been a smarter movie. I think that the characters, now there's a difference between being goofy and just being absurd. Because the difference between being goofy is that these characters are just acting stupid, and that's all. They're acting just silly, just so that when they die, we don't feel bad, and we just get a cheap laugh out of them. I think these characters could have been more absurd.
Yeah.
They could have pushed them to be a little more exaggerated. We could have had sort of like I'm not saying that this movie would have been this, but it could have been a Coen Brothers movie in a way.
Oh,
where
absolutely.
You get these crazy
Well,
characters.
that's the thing. It could have gone more absurd, or it could have been funnier. Like really commit to the comedy, and it's somewhere in between where it doesn't quite work because it's like, man, you gotta make a commitment one way.
No, that is true, man. I think the thing with this movie now, if you want to see a movie where you have absurdist characters that you could have had in this film right here, and this is why I brought up a Coen Brothers movie. Go watch Raising Arizona. Now imagine this movie had characters like Raising Arizona. It's a Nicolas Cage movie from back in the day. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's pretty funny.
Biology conspired to keep us childless.
You go right back up there and get me a toddler. I need a baby hot.
And when she's saying "get me a toddler," she said, "Go into people's house and steal one." It's a funny ass movie, man, and that's the thing. What makes the Coen Brothers movie so funny is that, see, this movie, what they did was they said, we have a bear on cocaine, and that is crazy enough. Is that not enough for you? And I don't think it is, actually. I'm not saying it's bad, but I think that they, if they had actually thought about characters and just a little bit of story, and then figured out how to put the cocaine bear in that,
Yeah.
you would have had it would have been a lot better.
I think if Elizabeth Banks was here, she'd go, really? I'm doing Cocaine Bear. You wanted me to make a Coen Brothers movie. You expected that from me?
And I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
a little bit. Some of that, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, I am. I'm sorry, what do you want me to say? Well, some people. Yeah, man, it's. But I'm not saying that this is. I'm not saying that this is bad. I will also say this. Damn, I'm gonna keep complaining. There are a lot of good things in this movie that I do like. I thought some of the filmmaking was amateurish too. They keep doing these flashbacks and cutaways, and they didn't lend anything to the movie really. At least for me.
Yeah,
For some people, they'll probably laugh at them. But me, they didn't really work that well. But especially when doing flashbacks for characters that have no real story. Who cares at this point? But the filmmakers chose its tone. I'm telling you what I want. Obviously, they wanted to highlight the bear on cocaine, which did work. So, okay, knowing what it is, and going in expecting it to be that, there are some things that work. Man, the pacing in this is actually pretty good. I looked at my phone right when this was about to end.
It's funny because I came out and I think it's just the tiredness from trying to bounce around all the characters.
Yeah.
When it was done, I felt like it was a little too long, only to check my time and go like, oh, that's barely an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's how I was feeling. I felt like the pacing was kind of slow to me.
Yeah, for me, I'm not, because I can see where it would be off for a lot of people. For me, I looked down, I was like, and obviously it was running, like I said, pretty thin with me because I looked at my phone like, all right, how many goddamn time we got to go with this? I get it. It's a bear on cocaine. All right, what are we going to do? And I looked down and it's like, oh, okay, we're almost done here.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I say that about the pacing. Like I said, I agree with you, Julian, that it felt like it was longer than it was. But praise for being an hour and a half because a bear on cocaine, it don't need to be any longer
No,
than that.
it does not. They knew when to stop. And really, when I looked at my phone, I was like, all right, you were stopping at the right time because I'm looking at right now like, okay, we need to go. This is done. And they like, yeah, we agree. They might focus too much on this, but there are moments where that gore got me, man.
Got me a lot.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect them to go that hard with it.
I did not either.
Body parts being flown.
Oh man, there was a scene with some of the roughest stuff in here don't even involve the bear. It's kind of like the result of the bear, but like the bear is causing a lot of shit. But some of the roughest parts of this are not even with the bear killing people or mauling people. But the fact that they, focus on the gore, which might be a little too much, I'd have to say I laughed and I flinched at a lot of things at the same time. There was I had a lot of woo moments. You know?
Oh yeah.
You probably heard me in the woo.
Oh, I didn't hear you because I was doing it too.
And I was sitting next, Liz.
Yeah, of course.
So this woman named Liz that we know, and Liz told me, she said, "Listen, I don't do well with these movies. I jump a lot." And I was like, "Okay," but by the time she was done, her head was hitting the roof. Yeah, she was, and it was so many times that those. So Liz is not a tall woman,
Right.
But them little legs will go off. Every time that bear came on, I'm like, "Woo!"
Well, Hy was sitting next to me, so he probably tell you the same story about me.
Yeah, man. Legs just get us. They were all stiff. They're already dangling on the chair. And you know, they say it's a dark comedy. They're not going as far as to describe this as a horror movie, but man, there are very much some horror elements in this in this movie. Because I'm gonna tell you, there's plenty of times where people are laughing and like, oh shit, because that bear was coming in. Every time that bear came in, people stopped laughing.
That's right.
Like, oh, go that motherfucker, man.
just be quiet. Maybe he won't see us.
Yeah, so many people theater play dead. That bear wasn't fucking around, man.
He was not. I mean, she was not. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and every time that bear came on, everybody was like, "Oh hell!" And it felt like a horror movie.
What?
Yeah, I know.
He's like, "You cold?" It sure is. That's another thing that worked, man. They knew how to play up the horror element because the music played right. You know, they actually put this bear in situations where, you know, they meant for it to be funny, but it still felt terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and what's really effective is that early in the movie, they show how that bear tears people apart, man.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, you know when this bear comes around, that bear's not fucking around.
Rain this morning? I know why it was. Leave him!
That is a great scene.
It is.
That's a very tense moment in there, man. There is a lot of good things that they do in this film. The stuff that we're complaining about is probably because we're just a little disappointed they didn't push it. But what they do, that's
because
effective.
the bear stuff is so good.
It is, man. It is. And listen, they say, well, shit, that's what the movie's about. That's what we told you. As I said, the movie's not false advertising. We could want more, but it didn't lie.
Yeah.
Didn't lie at all.
And as much as you might think, like, well, all the best stuff is in the trailer, it's like, not really. I mean, there's plenty of great stuff in the trailer, but I feel like when you watch it, those scenes get expanded on.
Yeah, let me just say this. There's as far as the stuff with violence and the bear, that they don't show that in the trailer. But as far as just the overall feel and tone of the movie, what you see in that trailer is what you get. You know, it's not, you know, as far as the tone of the film, it don't go beyond that anymore. As far as what you see with those characters.
With those characters now.
Yeah, you don't see what you see is what you get in that trailer. Don't expect any more out of them. There's no more dimension to them, except for my boy Henry, who actually I thought was a little girl. I didn't know that.
Yeah, at some point somebody said something about little girl.
It was a joke.
Okay, it was a joke. Okay.
Yeah, it was a joke.
Because I was like, that's a boy.
It was a joke. Yeah, it was like, hey, little girl. Yeah, because I didn't know that was a boy until I saw this movie.
Oh.
The whole time I thought that this was a girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This kid, his name is Christian Convery.
I think he's pretty good.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, I think
he's probably my favorite character.
Yeah, I think he was the
movie.
best character.
As far as that's why I said, you know, none of those characters mean anything. But Henry, boy, this little dude's a performer, man. He had me laughing. I don't know where his career is going to go, but as far as being a performer with great comedic timing, this kid is a natural, man.
Have you ever done cocaine?
What? Why do you ask?
That
You
was
know
a
why
no.
he is. Yeah.
What if they would never find out?
Oh, Henry, we always find out.
When I did cocaine at his age, my mother knew, so she ain't lying.
Well, that right there is kind of a throwback to the opening with the don't say, you know, just say no to drugs.
Yeah. Again, I thought they could have done something more clever.
Yeah,
with that.
they could.
But Julie, you haven't said much, man. What do you think about this?
Look, like I wouldn't look like dead ass. Like I wasn't expecting too much, and somehow I got less. Cause like I just was not thrilled at this movie at all. Like I mean, look, if you're going to see just for the bear, then it's cool. But like everything that surrounds the bear, like all the cast members, they were just so flat to me. They were just so boring to me that I'm like, God damn, I can't wait for this bear to kill these people.
For a movie that is pretty much, because now you got these meme movies, these movies that the trailers are made not just to sell the film, but to also get some social media going by making, hoping that this whole thing takes off as a meme.
Like Morbius.
Like Morbius, which did not work.
Yeah, no, I mean, it didn't work.
Or like Megan, which did.
Oh, yeah.
Megan is a meme movie, man. When Megan came in and had the little dance moves and everything. Yeah. That whole thing right there.
Yeah, that first trailer.
You know, that was
See, yeah, that had everybody hooked.
That was
Yeah.
a TikTok dance,
Yeah.
and there was a meme and all. You know, Megan's a meme movie, and if I have to like compare the two, you know, as far as a meme movie goes, Megan is a much better movie. I think Megan is, you know, I think the characters were better, and the movie had something to say. But you know, I think that Cocaine Bear fits in with movies like Megan and Violent Night and what else did we just see? Megan and Violent Night, and now we got Cocaine Bear. You know, though, where I keep saying this about those films, you know, great to watch with a crowd. You know, you watch them with, you know, go to a theater where you can get some drinks. I don't know, do a couple of lines before you get in. You know, it's that kind of film. I think it's better to watch when you know, we've got a bunch of people who are in on the joke and everybody's having a good time, everybody's a little tipsy. But if I had to give this a rating for myself, yeah, I enjoyed it, man. You know, like I said, and I know I was looking forward to it, but as I mentioned, I was looking at this more as a curiosity than anything, because I know how these things can go.
Sure.
So yeah, would I have wanted more? As I keep saying, yes, but did I get what I was promised? yeah, I did. So I would give this a low matinee. I had a good time with it. I can't lie and say I didn't have fun. I did.
I'm pretty much in line with you, even down to the point.
Line.
But where you refer these as meme movies, I didn't necessarily think of it that phrase, but I was thinking this is making me think of Violent Night, and especially Megan. I thought this is one where it's really sold on the trailer. You have these extreme things that happen in the trailer, and when you see the movie, it's like, well, everything you saw in the trailer, there it is. They're kind of equal. I probably enjoyed this a little bit better in as much as Megan was just so predictable to me. And I felt like, man, there's so much y'all could have expanded on and didn't. And here, there is in that cleverness of, hey, we are capturing a killer animal movie from the 80s, 70s or 80s or so. And in that way, you know, being a parody of that, it does work. And I wasn't so much bored like you were, Julian, but I feel what you're saying. It was just that there's points where the characters, because there wasn't more to them, they became tedious. When it's all said and done, it's probably more of a low matinee for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what do you think?
Damn, I gotta be the bad guy.
He's no bad guy.
Yeah.
He's no bad guy.
You're gonna be the bad guy no matter what.
So I was like, what I put, I was like, Cocaine Bear. I was like more like Mid Bear, at least to me, because you know a lot of kids are saying mid.
Y'all love to say
yeah,
mid.
mid. Yeah, that's what everybody's saying. So that's what I was kind of getting here. I think the idea of a bear on cocaine was a lot better than the execution in this movie. Look, like I said, if you're here just for the bear, then all right, you can get your money's worth. But everything that surrounds this bear to me is so boring. And I wanted to get on the CGI of the bear, but then the movie wasn't taking itself seriously, so I couldn't even do that. You know, there's certain moments where the movie's funny, but I think the movie tries too hard to be funny, and it just comes across like, okay, what are we doing here? You know.
No, I think when you say trying too hard, that's what we're saying when we say the characters are just really goofy.
Yeah,
You know? There's nothing to them, just to be silly. There's no cleverness to them or anything.
No, not at all. Yeah, I also say this. The pacing of this movie made this movie feel like it was longer than what it actually was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to see that it was like an hour and 35, like, it did not feel like that. Like, we just saw Creed on Tuesday, and that was like a 2-hour movie, and this movie felt longer than Creed. Wasn't a big fan of this movie at all. Got to give it a rental.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
And Martin was right. I can see people being split on that. And
I saw the Rotten Tomatoes score, though. Rotten Tomatoes like 100% or something like that.
is it
Really?
Yeah, that's what I saw this morning.
Because I didn't look on Rotten Tomatoes. Somebody sent me 2 reviews, and they were completely opposite of each other.
Yeah, let me
I
see.
saw
Rotten Tomatoes, it had
they said 100. Debuted
That
at 100.
can't be no 100.
I
mean,
promise you, it said it debuted at 100.
okay, it's 71%.
Okay, well, it
So
dropped,
what
it
happens
dropped.
is when they debut the reviews, is usually by people who have either seen it early or,
No,
you know,
they
it's,
just-
it's not the people who are starred or anything like that. It's
Oh,
people who are
okay.
happy to be at a screening.
Oh,
You know, I don't know,
okay,
maybe. I
okay,
can't.
that was-
Don't let me have to talk trash about people. I don't know. But I know early on, usually things that start out positive, unless a movie's really bad. And then it dips after a while.
Okay, yeah.
So
I
I
woke up
don't
this
know.
morning and saw 100%. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, 71% right now.
Okay, so it dropped.
Okay,
cool.
you know, I mean, I think you and I fall in line with that right there. 71 is about a matinee or something
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, Hey,
It honestly, despite my complaints, it was a little bit better than I expected.
yeah, and it wasn't as good as I thought it could have been, but I still had fun with it. Yeah, man, this is the perfect pothead flick.
That's good to put it.
But, I mean, don't you think cocaine?
But I was gonna say, if you don't, if you go that hard, go and pull up a couple of lines, put this on, and enjoy, man. It's
it's snorting a line every time the bear does.
ain't nobody getting that.
I know.
Well, that bear killed some more people. I see.
Oh, come on, man.
Somebody says a gateway movie, gateway flick.